Taylor, thank you so much for being here. You know, there's been so much, I think, misinformation and disinformation going on about this bill. It had strong bipartisan support in the House, but it faces a very uncertain path forward in the Senate. What's your prediction on what happens to it when it hits the U.S. Senate?
God, I mean, we shall see. There's several paths forward for the bill. I mean, I don't think that the bill currently, as it stands, will pass. I think there'll either be markup or, you know, I think a lot of people also think that the Senate might come back with their own bill. Clearly, there's desire from lawmakers to ban this app, so I don't think it's going away anywhere, but I don't think it's just going to fly through the Senate the way it flew through the House so quickly.
Taylor, I kind of got ahead of myself a little bit. Can you basically explain, though, to people who are fearful that it means that the app will be totally gone? They'll never be able to use it ever again. Is that what they're proposing to do with this bill?
Well, you know, that would be the result of this bill. The way that the bill currently stands, it actually forces a sale, but it forces a sale under terms that the company could pretty much impossibly never meet. And so they want TikTok to divest itself from ByteDance, which is a Chinese owned company. And a portion of the company, TikTok, is owned by ByteDance. Now, to force that divestiture, they would have to meet all of these qualifications in the bill that the company has said, one, we're not able to meet that even if we wanted to, and two, we aren't going to sell. So it would effectively result in a ban. And by the way, the lawmakers who passed this bill refer to this as a de facto ban in the press release that they issued about it.
Taylor, at the beginning of your interview, I was talking about how many people get their news from TikTok. And it's not, as I was joking, tongue-in-cheek at the beginning, just the latest dance, etc. It's people actually getting their news. There's major news outlets, including mine, MSNBC, on TikTok. Talk about the impact it could have if there was to be even a curtailment of access to an app like TikTok.
I mean, this ban could have devastating effects on free speech and civil liberties, and it would absolutely impact journalists' ability to reach people. I mean, we saw Elon Musk taking over Twitter, banning tons of journalists, forcing us all off the platform. Tons of people get their news from TikTok now. Myself and other journalists have, you know, hundreds of thousands of followers on there. We use it to communicate directly with the public. Also, it's where people go to make news and break news. You know, I always say, when you see something on the side of the highway or you see something crazy, often people's first instinct these days is not to tweet about it, it's to post a TikTok video. And, you know, major news stories have broken. Obviously, tons of people, millions of people have been following the war happening right now in Israel, Gaza. So it is a primary news source for people, and it's very terrifying to see that ripped out. You know, this could affect 170 million users in the U.S. alone.
Taylor, I got less than 30 seconds left, but I have to ask, and a little bit of an ad here, right? It's not just us going as consumers. There's actually people that make their livelihoods off of TikTok, right?
Absolutely. I mean, this ban could result in over 300,000 jobs being lost directly. TikTok claims that it's contributed over $24 billion to the U.S. GDP last year. I mean, you have just hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of small businesses affected by this ban, people that rely on TikTok every day for their livelihood. You know, this is not just a bunch of influencers. These are real, hardworking small business owners all over the country.